Hey, another year, another 3D Printopia, am I right? This video serves as my concise recap for the recent 3D Printopia 2025. I recently streamed my full recap with JRT3D's Josh and DreamsVoid on stream. The VOD can be found in the iCard above. This was my third 3D Printopia and fifth RepRap Festival. The unique part of this year's activity was that this was the first convention where I was a bit more well known in the space. It was so cool to catch up with some of the makers and sponsors I had previously met at other conventions. This was the most I've been recognized as Ace, which was a huge honor. Because of this, and other factors I'll get into, this was the most personally fulfilling RepRap I have ever attended, so thank you so much to everyone. I'll thank everyone individually as I go through the video, so hold on for that. Speaking of which, this video will be split into 3 sections. An update on my 3D printed Croc video, the long-awaited Arby's review, and the event takeaways and goodies. With that intro out of the way, let's get into it. Oh man, if you weren't sick of hearing about the 3D printed Crocs I recently made, this video isn't going to help matters. Speaking of which, this will act as a semi-sequel to my 3D printed Crocs video, so I would recommend watching that first. The first point I want to touch on is drying. I hadn't really discussed drying of the TPU as I didn't do anything super crazy new aside from just put it in a regular dryer. To make the green Crocs, I dried my TPU at 50 degrees Celsius overnight for around 12 hours and then pulled the roll out of the dryer to print. When printing with the Polymaker TPU, I dried while printing in this admittedly scuffed setup for direct drying to the printer. I believe this better setup is what led to the final red Crocs having the least amount of stringing compared to the other shoes. Since the making of these shoes, I have purchased a Polymaker Poly Dryer and it works amazingly well. I don't think you need a dryer as sophisticated as this to make the shoes, but a dryer is absolutely necessary for printing TPU regardless. For 3D Printopia, I actually had my first test print Crocs serve as Ace Gamer Sponsor Crocs, inspired by DreamsVoid's sponsor block. More on that a little bit later. The two sponsors were ReCreator3D and DreamsVoid. The ReCreator gibbet is made out of ReCreator rPET using a filament swap-at layer for colorized filament. I'm very excited to announce that in the making of my rPET Mark VI ReCreator kit, I seemingly nailed my profiles for printing rPET on my K1, and wanted to show that off with this gibbet. Speaking of which, I'll be working on an update to my previous colorizer video in the near future, so stay tuned for that. The DreamsVoid gibbet is a cartoony version of his Screwbug. Longtime viewers will know this little guy as the representation of Dreams on my streams. Dreams on my streams. This gibbet was made from Inland Yellow and Black PLA+, Inland Gray PLA, and Prusament Royal Blue PLA. The final gibbet is, well, my own logo. I made a bunch of these and gave them out as little keychains at 3D Printopia. These were all made from Polymaker's Co-PE in green, blue, and black. Overall, I have to reiterate my points from the previous video. These Crocs were surprisingly comfortable. Since they are custom sized to my feet, they feel less like clown shoes, which typical Crocs tend to feel. To put my money where my mouth is, I actually wore these all day at the convention, which DreamsVoid and Josh can attest to. These were a hit at the show, and a lot of makers were blown away by how smoothly I had managed to make them. Like with Anime NYC, the feedback was heartwarming and gives me such energy to take on some new big projects I have planned for the channel. These were such a blast to make and wear, and now I can't stop thinking about what next to make with TPU. More on that in a little bit. So that about wraps up the updates with the 3D printed Crocs. Now is the fateful Arby's review. Take it away.
We got the Arby's. Now we're gonna try and eat it. Try and eat it, okay? All right, so we're about to commence eating of the Arby's. Dreams, how are you feeling before this Arby's starts?
Apprehensive.
All right, give us your full rundown. What are you expecting out of this Arby's meal?
I am expecting to put something in my mouth with no indication as to what it actually is.
Oh, Arby's.
We got
We
the
have
meats.
the meats. All right, so for me, I've got the chicken fingers and buffalo sauce, and you know I had to hit them with the curly fries. The curly fries are the only good thing I think Arby's has. The rest of their food is something else. But Dreams got what is that? That's the snack wrap, the chicken snack wrap.
But they've already sliced it
Oh
in
my
half.
God! Look at that! Look at that cross section.
Yep, we got a cross section for days.
And then you also got, what is that? That's the
B&C classic. Add crispy onion. Add shredded lettuce.
the BBC,
The B&C.
the British Broadcasting Network.
B&C. Ah, I dropped something.
Yeah, let's get a nice look at that sandwich.
Oh jeez. I honestly don't know what I'm expecting right now.
I can't wait. All right, take a bite. All right, gut reaction.
It's wet. Yes, it's wet. I don't know. And the beef has a bit more bounce than what you think it should have.
Yo, the beef is made of TPU. 3D printed beef.
I think 3D printed beef would have a better texture.
If you had to compare it to something texture-wise, what would it be?
I would have to say pencil eraser.
Pencil eraser texture. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give the snack wrap a bite. That's probably going to be your best one. Just putting it together,
Sweet?
It's sweet.
Yes. But that could just be the ranch.
Yeah, it's probably the ranch, but
I mean,
how's the chicken? I think it's literally just a chicken finger. Hold on. I
Yeah.
think it's literally just a chicken finger in a wrap with lettuce.
yeah, and ranch sauce.
All right.
The wrap was a tad stale, like it had been sat a little bit too long. The chicken itself is fine. The coating of the chicken is okay, from what texture I could get from it. And yeah, that's reasonable. That's better than a McDonald's wrap of the day.
I don't know what the wrap of the day tastes like in the UK, but the wrap of the day it's literally just a chicken strip with a tortilla around it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fine. This is fine. This is wet.
That's wet. So I've got the chicken here, and I've got buffalo sauce, but I've also got ranch sauce, and I'm gonna try both. So first I'm gonna do buffalo. I really like buffalo, so see here. It's not bad. It has a weird taste that I can't, it's almost like oniony. Would you agree, Mike? It almost has kind of like an oniony taste to it, a little bit.
Mike made a non-committal gesture.
Yeah. That might be the buffalo sauce. Let me get some not with the buffalo sauce. This is just plain. No, I think that actually is the chicken. So it's not as bad as I made jokes to, but I think it's because I'm not committing to something like the roast beef sandwich or something like that. Chicken fingers are like the safest bet. So I'm gonna try some of that a little bit later after Dreams actually gets to eat some of his food. I'm very interested to see how first I'll try some with the ranch. So try some with the ranch here. It's much better with the ranch. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of fast food ranch anyway, because it kind of tastes a little bit processed, if you will. But the best part is the curly fries. These are the best thing at Arby's. I genuinely would go just for these. So let's try these with some ranch. This right here is one of the best fast food fries in the industry, is their curly fries. So I want you to try yours. I don't want to hear about your how do you feel about the crinkle cut fries? Would you like some ranch for them, or would you just like them plain?
I shall go plain.
Okay. I will say in general, the meal is a little bit soggy because we got it DoorDash order, so that it was ready for right when we got it. So it is a little bit soggy.
These taste like generic fries out of the freezer.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Generic,
yeah.
generic, whatever coated curly fries out of the freezer.
All right, so Dreams has given me a portion of his roast beef sandwich. I'm actually a little nervous about this. We'll see. I don't even like roast beef sandwiches when they're made well, let alone made at Arby's. Oh no. I kind of like it. I hate that it's not awful. Let me go in for another bite, because I got the flavors in my mouth. I really like the sauce. It's good. The meat just tastes like cafeteria hamburger meat, but it's thinly sliced, so it's like ham texture, but it pretty much is just a roast beef sandwich. It just tastes like a fast food roast beef sandwich.
Would you agree to the bounce that the meat itself has?
See, but the thing is that deli meat like that has that bounce.
Okay.
So I don't hate that. But it's definitely carried by the sauce on the burger, or on the sandwich itself. The meat is like kind of flavorless. But it's not bad. It's just kind of like a 6 out of 10, I would say. Okay, so we had to move inside because of all the bugs, but now Dreams is gonna try the chicken finger. So, all right, give it a try.
Should I turn it open?
Oh,
that's
that's nasty.
Uh-huh.
All right, give it a try. Do you get that oniony taste that I got?
I don't get the onion, but it's sweet.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew
It was
you were
the
gonna...
chicken. The chicken was the sweet part. It wasn't the ranch.
Okay, so you think the wrap, the chicken, was the sweet part?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Unless it's just the housing of the chicken. Why am I calling it the housing?
The breading.
It's not
Try-
breading though.
Try the breading. Try the breading. It's
Yes.
probably the breading.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wait, no. That's concerning.
Yeah.
That is concerning.
Do you? Okay, but the question is, do you like it?
It's not my first choice.
Not your first choice.
Not
okay.
my first choice.
Well, no, it's not going to be your first choice. It's Arby's. But the question is whether you like it or not.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's the best. Put that in quotes. Arby's. It's fine.
Now that I've had some time to digest my meal, here's my updated feelings. Sadly, I think the curly fries were the best part. I don't know what it is about them, but they always hit. Can't say the same for the rest of the meal, though. I think the part of the roast beef sandwich I liked the most was the sauce. The meat itself was kind of rubbery. The chicken strips had this really odd flavor. I can't exactly nail down the source, kind of like I alluded to in the previous section. I absolutely understand where Dreams is coming from, saying he gets a weird sweet taste, but I don't really think that that's the whole story. I will concede that the ranch does taste sweet for some weird, odd reason, but I'm not really a fan of fast food ranch anyway, so this doesn't really do a lot to change that. The soda was good, though. Well, that covers the prep and the Arby's review. Now let's get into the event itself. Best place to start is filament. Last year, I won a roll of Protopasta Nebula filament, and when talking about it with the Protopasta team, they actually gifted me a roll of their new UV color change Nebula filament. I have to find something magical to print with this for Gigi, similar to what I did last year. As always, I made sure to grab a bunch of Prusa's Prusament, as I do with every rep wrap. I got more pristine white and snagged some Galaxy Black and the Prusa Orange, all in PLA. From Amelin, I grabbed this variety pack of these dual color silk filaments. I think these will make some pretty sweet frogs. Speaking of multicolor frogs, Dreams gifted me this array of silk filaments from the Polar Filament Filament Swap. Filament. Josh also gifted me a roll of this Skin PLA Plus from the same filament swap. Speaking of Josh, from him I also got this Zapparoo kit, which is an all-in-one emulation machine. I've heard it's also fully customizable as well. I plan to make a separate video on this a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. All this filament might help me make these kits from PrintKit. Nice segue, right? The specific ones they gave out at the event were these spring-loaded soldering jigs, which I just think are super neat. From Big Tree Tech and BQ, I got these engineered cold plate keychains. I joked with the BTT team that I should try to rig these up to a printer and use these little guys for actual printing. Speaking of Big Tree Tech, I was super fortunate to receive 2 products as a sponsor for future videos. That being this Panda Claw and roll of purple Moreflex. I don't want to spoil anything as I'm really excited and these videos are going to be far into the future, so stay tuned for more updates. Well, that pretty much wraps up the swag part of the video, and with that I reach my conclusions. I had a blast at 3D Printopia 2025. I already said how much of an honor it was to even be slightly recognized while on the field. Even those that didn't recognize me were just so nice. Thank you so much to the Big Tree Tech team for being so nice. I hope I get to make some fantastic videos with you guys' help. Thank you to Josh as always for helping me get to go to these events and show off all my cool ReCreator work. Thank you to DreamsVoid for helping out with the Arby's review, and side note, I want to say, Dreams, it was great to finally get to meet you and get to show you around the convention of 3D Printopia. It was a true blast. There wasn't as much to show off this time around since a lot of the cooler projects I've already shown off and talked about in previous videos. This is not a knock on anyone as RepRap works in kind of waves. Previous years have been really massive for growth, so this year's 3D Printopia felt a lot like a graduation run, to steal a term from Josh. East Coast RepRap / 3D Printopia has been around for many years, and this was the last time the venue will be held in Maryland. Next year, they're moving up to Philadelphia. The community felt at capacity this year, so this new venue should allow everyone to grow into the new space. Hopefully, even into new exciting frontiers. I can find no better way to end off this video than with that nostalgic yet hopeful outlook. I can't wait for next year and what big projects it will bring. Thank you all very much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Above you. Right. Upright.
Wow,